So, this is a video about doctors' offices, doctors, and people working in doctors' offices. I am a guy who questions. I'm so pissed off. I've been trying to find a decent doctor. Now, I'm not one of these people who goes into a doctor's office and says, "Oh, you're a doctor. You're always right and you're so great." And I'll sit my ass down for 2 hours waiting for you to get to the office that I'm going to be sitting in, or the examination room. And I will wait another half an hour for you to have you walk in like who the hell you are and throw some bullshit at me. I'm not one of those guys. I want to know, if you're a doctor, you better do your job. You better do it right. Now, that doesn't mean I act like this in the doctor's office. I'm a pretty pleasant patient. I'm amusing also. But what I just experienced, I just left a doctor's office. It was, first of all, I get a girl on the phone. Okay, number one, when a girl or a guy in an office says "ax" to you instead of "ask," when they fuck up a 3-letter word, right there, it tells me it's not going to work. When she says "ax" instead of "ask," I got a problem with that, a big problem. All right. So why I'm livid right now is because I just sat my ass in a parking lot for 15 minutes waiting for my appointment that took 2 weeks to set up. And I warned the girl. I got to know her name. I said, I want to let you know that I'm a guy of accuracy. I'm a guy of being on time. I'm a guy who wants to know I'm going to ask questions. I have had a problem with a previous office where the girls just kind of, fell short. And I just don't believe anybody in that field should fall short. Because it's the medical field, for Christ's sake. All right? With that being said, so, my foot doctor did the surgery. He's like a great surgeon and all, but his girls suck. Another office that says "X." All right? So I left him anyway. This is a PCP I'm going to see in Lindenhurst, and I'm not going to say names. So I just left the doctor's office, and I am livid, right? So I got up early. I had to set my guy up to open the doors. I had to pull a crazy parts order and leave money somewhere, all kinds of shit just to make this happen. And in typical fashion, I sit there for 15 minutes waiting for the doors. I call 5-2. You got to call before you go in because of the coronavirus shit, right? So I wait for the doors to open. And they don't open. Like at 1 minute before it, I called back, right? So they're not open. So all of a sudden, at 8:01, I get a phone call sitting in my car. I'm sorry, but the doctor felt sick today and she couldn't make it in. I said, well, for starters, I didn't have an appointment with a she. It was a he. And I'm here to come see he, not her. Well, he's not in today anyway, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm like pissed, but I'm maintaining my composure. I said, okay. She goes, look, I can get you in tomorrow. Oh, no. She said, well, do you want another appointment? I said, well, yeah. I mean, of course, I want another appointment. What do you have for me? She said, tomorrow at 12:40. I said, that's a little rough for me, but let me ask you something. Do you think I'm going to be there till 2 o'clock before I get in the examination room? That's all I asked her. We went back and forth about the answer to that question. And she kept answering a different question. She couldn't even understand the words that came out of my mouth. Because it was, do you think I'll be an hour and a half? I changed it up a little bit. I said, do you think it'll be an hour and a half before I get in to see the doctor? Because I can't sit there that long because of my business and things I do. Because, of course, to a doctor, you're not important to them. Not all of them. I guess I'm going to find a good one day. I'm searching. But you're not going to find a good one, right? So now she starts getting pissy with me. And it's always the girl that says "X." It's always that element, the girl who thinks you're insulting them when you're simply asking a question. And I said, look, I'm not trying to be difficult. Don't get me wrong. I said, I just need to know if this is going to be an all afternoon ordeal. I can't answer that. You know what? Tell me it shouldn't be. And I'm done. And I'll see you tomorrow. But no. Round and round it goes. And I've seen this in doctor's offices, okay? There's 3 of them I walked away from. Number 1, I went to wait for a physical, and I was sitting in a doctor's office waiting for a half an hour. It took me an hour to get in the room. I'm waiting a half an hour. So I take his tooling, you know, his ear thing, and I look at it, and it's full of shit. It's filthy. How am I going to get that? Got it. How am I going to... Okay. What's the person who sent me a doctor? All right, not important. I'm driving anyway. Seatbelt back. So anyway, how am I going to see a doctor who has shit in his earpiece from someone else's ear? And I'm looking at the filth and the mess. So I waited for him. And he comes in. I said, Doc, this is our first and last meeting. And I'm going to show you why. And I walked around his little examination room. And I showed him the filth, the dirt, a dead spider in a corner. I showed him all the shit. And he's like, well, I don't know what to say. I'm embarrassed. I said, you should be. You need to clean up your act if you want a customer like me. And I walked out. And, of course, he doesn't give a shit because he's got a bunch of people that will come in. They will come in to the office. They will deal with that bullshit and still get on their knees for him like he's God. Well, I got news for you. Just like people do to me every day, I got to stand at my counter and I got to be on my wits and I got to be honest and straightforward when I fix their car. And if something's not right, they will call me out on it. They will break my balls. They will kill me. Okay? So I have to do it. Now, doctors, not all of them, because I know there's some good ones out there. And I know a lot of them are talented, even if their office sucks. But the problem I have with, I have a guy who did my carpal tunnel surgery. His girls are crackerjack, on time, boom, boom, boom. Dr. Fish, Rockville Center. So there you go. I'll put him out there. I'm not going to talk about the bad ones. But this guy's office is crackerjack. And the girls don't get insulted when you ask questions. So I'm just so pissed off that I set him up with my healthcare plan and all that bullshit. And now I can't even go back there. I'm done. I'm finished. I am so pissed off. I wasted all that time, effort, energy, and I'm 50 years old. You know, I'm like the prime candidate. I'm like a 100,000-mile Mercedes that a guy's got to keep. He comes to me. Oh, it's going to be costly for a couple of months to get the car right, and it's going to take money. Wow, cops are everywhere. I don't know what it is. They are everywhere. This cop is the worst cop in the world. On the left, excuse me. He could be the best. This cop right here, look at the camera. Okay, he's either the worst or the best. Everybody hates him. No one likes him. He's the highest ticket writing guy there is. But you know what? I respect this guy. You know why? He does his job. Okay? The man does his job. So yes, he's got me a couple of times. Never wrote me because we have mutual friends. But he's thorough, he's accurate, and if this guy's gonna write you a ticket, believe me, you deserve that ticket. So shut up and take your lumps, and stop complaining about a ball-busting cop that writes tickets. If he's good and he does his job, you're wrong, and it's your fault, okay? So I'm just done with people who aren't good at what they do, and when you go to use them, they feel as though they're on a higher level than you are. And God forbid you question their ethics, their abilities, or what it is they're trying to sell you, basically. And it just pisses me off to no end. And it's like in every business. Like, I get hit from people with questions. And, you know, I used to be a little blasé about things when I was younger in the business. But the older I got, the more I realized, you know what, some of these people know what the hell they're talking about when they ask me about their car. Some of the people see shit, and they're right. Some are a bunch of dumbass. Most are a bunch of dumbass, but a lot of people see it. So when they ask a question, I take it serious. And I think about it for a second, and I give them the right answer. So, you know, with that being said, that's the type of person I had to become. I had to become a very accurate person, a diligent person. I had to be someone who can give answers. And I fix cars. Could you imagine in the medical field not being like this? And they're all over. They're all over. It's all these girls in offices, and I don't know what it is. And, you know, I had this discussion with a guy who had the same problem in one of the offices I did. And he said, oh, Spanish girls, they don't like us. I'm like, I don't think it's Spanish girls because I know Spanish girls that really do their job and do it well and can handle guys like us. I mean, granted, the last 2 girls I had problems with, or 3 girls, 2 officers, were all Spanish, but I know there's girls, like I said, I've dealt with. So that I don't know, that to me doesn't make sense. So it's not like a thing that is racial or is oriented by where they come from. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how far you want to get into it, but I can tell you one thing right now. If someone says X, if they fuck up a 3-letter word, they are a dumbass. They are stupid. You're an idiot and you're a moron, and you're telling the whole world that by saying X, okay? So if you're one of them, take the thumb out of your mouth and switch it for the one in your ass and go get another job shoveling shit. Because if you can't manage to get a 3-letter word out of your mouth, how can you manage to serve me in a medical office? Holy shit. I'm pissed off. Anyway, you know a good doctor? Let me know, because I need one.